Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am Maiton Guevara, and I would just like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I am a Filipino um, electoral analyst, and this is actually my first talking video. Um, I do a lot of election predictions, notably in the United States, because the United States has the most advanced polling technique amongst all countries. I also do some of election predictions here in my home in the Philippines, and I also do a lot in other countries like Germany and Russia. So here we are. So I'm sorry if the I'm actually doing this on video. So um, I'm not doing this on screen recorder because um, my laptop isn't really in sync with the converters with the recordable or screen recorder. So forgive me if I this is a kind of blurred video for you guys. However, however, um, we're gonna do our third video. And I forgive for those of you who have watched my first two videos, it was in the computer shop, so if you saw any different language that you didn't understand, just ignore it. Um, just ignore the entire thing and focus on the map. So here we are. This is my third video. This is a trainee electoral prediction between Joe Biden, the former Vice President of the United States, against Donald Trump. So, of course, we all know that some people say that Joe Biden is the strongest candidate that could face Trump in the 2020 election, given that his experience and his Obama factor. Albeit some people would say that he might lose in the close election. So this is just my prediction for it. I mean, if you uh, if you see or if you look at some of the latest polling numbers and the surveys, Biden leads by 53 to 47 or 54 to 46. That is a big margin. So we have to understand if he can win or not. So let's continue. So in my prediction, I guess um, Indiana would go for. I'm actually gonna do an R per R prediction because I think it'll be more effective in um, naming the winner. So let's just start. Indiana. Indiana's is the home or the home state of Vice President Mike Pence. I don't think Biden can win that easily, but I think it will go for Donald Trump the same way it did for him 4 years back. Same goes to Kentucky. Um, I don't see Joe Biden having a chance in coal country because of the votes there. Um, is pretty conservative. I mean, Joe Biden can appeal to the Democratic people here, but it wouldn't be enough to drive the votes, especially amongst African Americans. I guess that the African American vote is split here, so I really don't think that will happen. Same with South Carolina. I don't really see that one going for um, Joe Biden. But Georgia, I think, can be a competitive state. The reasoning behind it is because of how close the election was there 4 years or 2 years back. If you look at the northern part of Georgia right there, the Macon, Georgia, the Atlanta, Georgia, and the Savannah areas or the metropolitan areas surrounding that, Georgia was supposed to flip to the Democrats. However, because of the outlining counties surrounding Georgia, the Georgian suburban counties, Hillary Clinton failed to really grab the state. But however, because of the white working class appeal of Joe Biden, I think he has a chance to um, flip the state of Georgia. And it wouldn't be the same um, if Atlanta and Savannah both apply their or drive the votes up there. So yeah, so continuing on, I'm gonna say that the state of Virginia also will turn very competitive for both of the candidates. I mean, the southern part of Virginia is pretty conservative. It it gives a chance for Trump to really drive the conservative vote. However, the northern counties, I don't expect that to be very much um, going for the incumbent because they didn't even voted for Trump in the northern counties. However, Trump has a chance to prove himself in the southern counties here because I think um, if the job growth does well amongst the coal miners who does live in Virginia, I think he can expect voter turnout higher there. So let's look at Vermont. I think Vermont is a safe blue state. That's the first victory for the Republicans. I mean, sorry, the Democrats. I mean, the Democrats are pretty much rock solid there. So going back to the battleground, now that's the first star here, 28-3. So yeah, I think it'll be an interesting night to see who can take the swing states. Ohio is a swing state that even myself cannot guess. This is the hardest state to guess. Bit iffy because um, both Republicans and Democrats have a strong chance of taking the state. Both are essential, not only to Republicans. That is a fact I would give you. Republicans, of course, needs the state to stabilize their path. However, the Democrats also needs to grab the state in order for them to stabilize their path to 270. So both sides are really iffy on the issue because number one, the African American vote is solid here. Number two, the manufacturing industry also is alive and well here, and this is one of the factors why I guess Donald Trump won the election because he got the right turnout in the state, as he won it by 8 points or 7.5 points in 2016. So West Virginia, coal country, still strong to vote for Joe Biden. I'm sorry, Donald Trump. This is my first time talking in the channel, guys, so forgive me. So, West Virginia, of course, coal country. They would love how Donald Trump allowed the further expansion of the coal industry in those areas, notably in West Virginia. That would give him, I guess, a 60% vote there against um, Joe Biden's 40. Because if you look at West Virginia, some people will say that this is a state that could be won by the Democrats by appealing to their economic situation. However, it didn't work out for Hillary Clinton because of the environmental policies of Democrats. So I don't see him. I don't see Biden winning there. But North Carolina is an Obama state 4 years back, and that in itself is a this this factor for Trump because if he can't take away the counties around Asheville and the southern counties that are a bit more conservative, he would lose. You need to split the votes in Charlotte and Raleigh to do that, which he didn't do because North Carolina is controversial because of its gerrymandering style that it it proportionally districts counties, or it proportionately divides districts among racial grounds, and that is why Obama was able to win it, because he was able to really drive the um, not only divide the conservative vote, but actually divide the black vote here in Raleigh and in Charlotte. So continuing on, of course, now 33 to 3, Trump leads. However, Illinois is a very tough Democratic state. I don't see any reason why they can flip. Any reason why they could flip Illinois, even if the southern counties are very much Republican. I don't see them just by running the votes in Chicago. Um, they would lose. Um, sorry, they would win. Tennessee, very conservative, very rich and conservative. Alabama, Republican, a solid Republican state. Mississippi, Barack Obama tried to flip the state by driving the votes in the western part of Mississippi, but that's not enough, because you need to also gain the biggest county of all, which surrounds Jackson, which is the largest city and the capital of Mississippi. So Oklahoma, no doubt that the state is pretty much Republican. Never voted for a Democrat for many years. Solid Republican. Missouri, I see that one coming for Trump. The reasoning, the agricultural industry could be divided on the issue of tax rates that the Democrats love to. This is a state that they like to. This is a state that they like to assess when they want to take the Midwest. However, the conservative vote is very, very strong here. So, yeah. What happened? So, yeah. Um, let's continue now in the North. I see Biden taking all of New England. I mean, even if that one electoral district went to Trump, it was because of the fact that he did had that businessman appeal, that he wanted to bring back jobs, that he needed to we need to strengthen our borders. Yeah, and I don't need to explain every state in New England. I mean, in this scenario, Biden would really close into the traditional Democratic vote, which means to say the New England vote, because of his affinity with the New England area. I mean, being a senator from Delaware, growing up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which we will be going to a bit later. Um, all of these states are safe. Uh, safe. I mean, he did also had his childhood in Massachusetts. That would help him pretty much here. But I would say that I would give Pennsylvania early to him to Joe Biden, because he was from Scranton. He knows the feeling of the white working class here. He also knows the feeling of the African Americans that he have worked with in Pennsylvania. He will drive both the white working class vote and the minority votes here in Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania and along Erie County, which sorry, if you look at here, sorry, if you look at here, that is right here in this part near the Great Lakes. So yeah, there you have it. So going back now, um, Florida is always a toss-up state. I mean, if you look at how close the race between Trump and Clinton was in the state of Florida, you would see that it was about 2 points or 1.6 points, and that percentage is one of the closest in Florida electoral history. Of course, the closest was the 2000 election, but it was still close. Um, here you have the third hour of poll closings. Joe Biden taking the lead against Trump, 76 for Trump, 103 for Biden in this scenario. So let's continue. Arkansas has always voted Republican since 2000. I'll give Arkansas to Donald Trump, and by that time is the only state that will close. So that's the fourth R, 82-103 in favor of Biden. Let's continue on. Louisiana will go for Trump. Texas, I don't see the Latino vote coming the same way for Biden um, that Hillary Clinton had in 2016. It was because of the Latino vote, I guess. Same with the North, the traditionalist states. Yeah, there you have it. Um, I don't see Biden taking a chance here. I mean, if you watch my Sanders video, you would see that I did give some states a competitive tone because Sanders does appeal in this area in the Midwest that will split the conservative vote. However, Biden does not appeal to the red wall, as they say, so I'm keeping it for the Republicans, notably Donald Trump. So, of course, going here, New York will absolutely go for Joe Biden. 5 boroughs will really hasten his victory here. I don't see Donald Trump trying to make the state in play. Of course, this is his home state as well. New Mexico as well will go Democratic. Um, the stance of the Democrats and the immigration will really help him here. Same with Colorado. A lot of Latinos also here, and of course the social liberalism that they do here. Same in Minnesota. The state really is traditionally now a Democratic state. Um, and a big flip from 2016 is Michigan. I think Biden can appeal to the white working class the same way Trump does in a less condescending tone. I think he can appeal to the white working class in Flint and in Sault Ste. Marie here in the upper part of the Wolverine State. And I guess he'll split the votes in Detroit and get that African American vote back, which I guess also was not won by Hillary Clinton. Wisconsin, I'm going to declare toss-up, and Arizona, I'm also going to declare it a toss-up. However, the last state that I'm going to call now is Wyoming, which is a very solid Republican state. It gave Trump the biggest margin of any state that he won by about 68%. That's big. Alright, so that's the fifth hour poll closings. 172 for Biden, 148 for Donald Trump. So, we're going to continue now. Utah would easily... I'm sorry, not Nevada. Sorry. My bad. Alright, so Utah, the most reddest state in the union, would absolutely go for Donald Trump, albeit there's no third-party inclusion here. Same with Montana. This is just two states that not easy to flip for Democrats. Even if Montana was really that close many years back, it's not really that close the same. And Iowa, I would declare toss-up because the reasoning behind it is this is an Obama state for two elections, and in my opinion, this would continue to be a very competitive state once an Obama factor candidate would get a strong Obama factor candidate becomes the nominee. So I'm gonna call Nevada early because I think Las Vegas and Reno would go all in for Biden. So at the end of the 6-star poll closings, you have 178 for Joe Biden and 157 for Donald Trump. So let's continue now. Idaho, one that is very red, the opposite of Hawaii, very blue. That's 182. California, Oregon, and Washington. No doubt the West Coast is extremely socially liberal. So, albeit they're also fiscally conservative. Even Washington and Oregon are a bit more environmental centered, more socially liberal. As I've said, California is more of the machinery of the Democratic Party, as it was flipped by Bill Clinton in '92. So, um, uh, let's continue now. Alaska is very much red. So now we can see that Biden is in the lead now by just taking the flipping back Michigan and by continuing to keep the West Coast there. So I'm gonna give Arizona, Iowa, and North Carolina to Donald Trump, and it's still not enough for him to even sniff victory here. All of these states that I have called early, that is part of the battleground state, um, I'm gonna say that all of these would be a Trump victory by 3 to 2%, I guess, because